Hi friends, I am Manmad Krishna. You are watching Manmad Krishna Food Tech channel. I made my videos in the simplest and easiest way to understand food technologists as well as food science and technology students. If you wanted to get the notification of my videos, please subscribe my videos and click the bell icon for regular updates as and when I upload my videos in YouTube. Thank you. And today's our topic, let us discuss about types of parasites which are causing infections to the human beings. Mostly two kinds of parasites. One is worms. The second one is protozoans. So these worms are three kinds of worms. One is nematodes, and the second one is cystodes. Third one is trematodes. So nematodes is the best example is roundworm, and cystodes is the best example is the tapeworm. Trematodes is the best example is liver flu. So the worms are three kinds of worms which are infecting the human beings: parasites, nematodes, cystodes, and trematodes. Nematodes is nothing but roundworms. Roundworms means, for example, Anasaki species, and cystodes means tapeworms. For example, Daphylobothium lactum. Trematodes, Chloromcosis. These are the kinds of species which are causes infections in the human beings. So what are the symptoms? Nematodes. So when we take the infected food or when we take through the contaminated water which contains cysts, so through fecal oral route the parasites can enter into the human beings. Nematodes will enter through the fecal oral route through the water or food. Cystodes also fecal oral route, trematode also fecal oral route. So the preventive measures is we have to properly dispose the human feces. We will discuss in the next. These nematodes, once enters into the inside of the organism, human beings, what will happen? The cysts, once the cysts will enter inside the human beings, what will happen? The symptoms will appear like diarrhea, vomitings, abdominal cramps will occur. So these are the symptoms, and water diarrhea also will come. Nausea and cystode also, abdominal cramps, nausea, and diarrhea will come. Trematodes. These cystodes in rare cases will leads to anemia. Means blood content also will reduce the human beings, and these parasites enters into the liver also sometimes. Cystodes. These are the called tapeworms. So Daphylobothium lactum. Then the trematodes means abdominal cramps will occur, and this also sometimes will enter into the organ systems also. It will enter the liver and it will enter some other organs also, it will contaminate. So in the cyst stage or sporozoites stage, the parasites come out through the fecal route. So it will shed out to the outside. If we have not properly treated the feces, not properly disposed the feces, the parasites will contaminate through the food, the parasites will contaminate through the water or through the food. These are things. Then when we come to the protozoan parasites, the protozoan parasites are the best examples is Entamoeba histolytica. So Entamoeba histolytica is nothing but which causes amoebic dysentery. So these parasites also will enter into the human beings through the some eating of raw vegetable salads and green leafy vegetables also the major root of these things, and through water also these parasites entering into the other parasites. So there are some other kinds of parasites also which are infecting to the human beings. So those are called Cryptosporidium parvum. So Cryptosporidium causes cryptosporiasis, and Cyclosporia causes cyclosporiasis. Giardiosis, Giardia lamblia causes giardiosis. This Cryptosporidium parvum, which contaminates, which transmits through the consumption of contaminated apple cider. So when the person eats fermented apple juice, when a person eats fermented contaminated apple juice, the parasite can transmit. And the second one is the Cryptosporidium also can transmit through the milk also. If the milk is not properly pasteurized, the parasite remains in the contaminated milk and infect to the people who take the milk. And through the water also, the parasite Cryptosporidiasis, the disease will occur. And the next one is Cyclosporia. Cyclosporia means this will occur through the contaminated berries. The contaminated berries like different kinds of blueberries, blackberries are there, herbs and leafy vegetables. Leafy vegetables through the eating of raw salads, vegetable salads also, the cyclosporiasis, the parasites infection will occur in human beings. The third one is Giardia lamblia. This is also entering into the human beings through the infected contaminated food. The persons who are eating the contaminated food like lettuce. Lettuce means it's a kind of edible leaves like cabbage, like that, and some herbs like also basils also. And the person who will eat raw chicken and the person who will eat raw meat also more prone to the giardiasis. And raw salads also more prone to the giardiasis infection. Then the fourth one is Toxoplasma gondii. So this is very dangerous parasite. Which once the parasite infects to the carrying mother, it will infect to the mother womb. The baby, it will infect the baby who is in the mother womb. So very fatal. Sometimes deaths also may occur. This Toxoplasma gondii species. The last one is trichinellosis. So whenever the people will eat the raw meat, this trichinellosis will occur. So these are the kinds of diseases, and especially this Giardia lamblia. If we ingest the contaminated food, if we take the contaminated water which contains single cysts of Giardia lamblia, can cause the infections, which will immediately inside the gut region, which will multiply, which will make the diseases. These are all also invading in the gut regions, causes diarrhea. Most of these parasites all are causing diarrhea. Diarrhea is a common symptom, and vomitings also. Some parasites will cause the vomitings also. Methods to prevent parasite transmissions. So we'll discuss what are the methods how to prevent the parasites transmission to human beings. So the first one is good proper hygienic practices. So the good hygienic practices by the food handlers. All food handlers who are handling the food should follow the good hygienic practices. So we can prevent the occurrence or transmission of the parasites, contamination. Then the second one is dispose the human feces properly. So most of the parasites which transmit through the fecal oral route, most of the parasites. So if we will dispose the human feces in a proper way, we can control the parasites transmission. And the third one is eliminate the improperly treated sewage to fertile crops. That is very important. Most of the agri fields, they are applying the sewage to fertile the crops, but which is not properly treated, prone to many kinds of, which contains improperly treated sewage contains many kinds of parasites which can transmit through the vegetable readings, vegetable green leafy vegetables. The parasites, then the seeds will come through the food chain. It will enter into the human beings. So we have to eliminate the improperly treated sewage to fertile the crops. That is the third one. And the fourth one is proper treatment of water and proper treatment of sewage. Third one. The fourth one is we have to freeze or cook the parasite. So we have to cook, not semi-cooking, not parboiling. We have to cook. If the product is intended to be consumed as raw, for example, any meat product or fish products, for example, some sashimi fish or some tuna fish, the tuna fish, Japanese will eat as a raw consumption. In such cases, what will happen? The processing units are chill freezing are doing. So what they have to do? The freezing will eliminate the parasites. The freezing mechanism will kill the parasites. If you freeze the product at minus 20 degrees centigrade or below for 7 days, store 7 days. If you freeze the product at minus 40 and store at 20 degrees centigrade, minus 20 degrees for 7 days, which will kill the parasites, which will eliminate the parasites. So this is the process related hazard we can control. We have to control on the process related hazard. But this is only applicable to the fishes like small fishes. In the case of tuna, the dia also very big, more than 5, 6, 7, 8 inches with dia. So the core temperature will not attain this much. In such cases, we have to revise this thing, internal temperature. We have to make ensure the freezing internal core temperature of the fish products, the bigger fishes, either attaining minus 20 or not. We have to ensure. Then only the fish can be meant for raw consumption. Because of this tuna, salmons, and some scombroid species like seedfish, kingfish, which are the species related hazard, which are all containing parasites. The fishes are parasites inside their gut, inside their exhale, the parasites also there. So we must be very cautious whenever taking raw consumption or parboiled consumptions. So these are the methods we have to follow. These are the methods. If the smoked salmon, for example, the product smoked or cooked salmon, we have to make sure that the cooking temperature whether reaching to kill the parasites or not. Either freezing can eliminate the parasite or cooking can eliminate the parasite. But the temperature at least 72, 73 degrees centigrade for more than 1 minute as per the lethal rate of their studies. But where the freezing also minus 20 degrees centigrade or the fish attains or the meat attains, and minimum the storage it should be 7 days at minus 20 degrees centigrade. We will control the parasites. Thank you.